What's up, everybody? It's time to get happy for some old school. Got my producer, Sketch. She's in Canada right now. She may chime in from time to time. I see her pretty face. I don't think you guys can see her. Sketch is also a DJ. And Sketch, you know how like there's all this division going on, you know, right, left, everyone's fighting, everyone hates each other. I think of myself as like the comedy Captain America. I just want one nation under a grin. That's what I want. So it came to me in epiphany, believe it or not. Back in the day, I was DJing at the Palladium, and I had like 1,000 people dancing in Sketch. They were all doing this same dance. You know what that dance was?
I'm going to guess the electric slide.
The electric slide! How about, remember they had Hands Across America?
No, because I live in Canada.
Oh, yeah. She's in Canada. But I thought, how about we get Slide Across America? And everybody's like, hey.
I love it.
Doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. Everybody likes the electric slide. Hey. And then you dip it like that. How about that, Sketch? Thank you very much.
I love it. I love it.
StevieD for president.
It's the StevieD One World Under StevieD challenge.
I mean, that came to me like everybody loves the electric slide. We were actually at a party the other night, socially distanced, of course, and we're doing karaoke. And I don't know if you saw it. It's epic. I think I put it on Instagram. I was doing Poison, Belle Biv DeVoe, you know?
Yes, I did.
That was you saw that?
I saw that, and I saw Colin's follow-up as well. It was good.
Press the big button to smile. That was the jam back in the day. But remember how naughty that was?
Yes. I remember
I
when.
I wonder if Michael Bivins is going to put that on his tombstone. Never trust a big button to smile. That girl is. What's up, Facebook? In case you're just now joining us over there. What's up, Johnny? He's a fire captain. Thank you, my man. A lot of fires going on. I'm glad you got your priorities straight to watch StevieD. And I'll bring you up to speed once again. We are recording on Zoom. This is going on YouTube on Wednesday night. We got a kick-ass lineup. We always have a drinking word, and the drinking word tonight is old school, because I'm an old fool from the old school. So have your quarantine cocktails ready. We're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to talk about Elvis. Yesterday was August 16th, man. He died in 1977. We're the king tonight and everything. We're going to talk about a lot more old school music. Bikes. You can't get a bike these days. There's a homeless dude, I'm not kidding, about 5 miles from me. He's got like 20 bikes he's been jacking just for sale. You know, he's got a little hustle going. I think I actually went and bought my bike back for $22. But anyway, bikes. What kind of bike did you have growing up? I always had the Huffy. I had the cheap ones. I didn't have the badass Schwinn's. But we're going to talk about bikes. We're going to talk about Elvis, Evel Knievel, anything else. So we never know where we're going, but we get there somehow. Give it up for Johnny Sanchez.
Oh, I got one of those too.
Mess around, bro. I got a budget in here, man.
I actually got. You know what I did? I downloaded 2 apps that have those.
Have what?
Hey, huh?
Have what?
I downloaded 2 apps that has the applause and booing and claps and all that. What you're using?
Well, I have a sound guy. He's in the other room, and he does that. I'm not.
Guys, we're right.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
You know what? I know. Listen, I don't want to cheapen the show, bro.
This is a big budget production, my man. I'm not messing around.
No, listen. How's the lighting? Is the lighting okay? Because I'm using all natural lighting in here.
You're pretty, my man. You're even more pretty than.
Isn't it pretty? Isn't it?
You're even more pretty than you were. We've been doing the same pose for like 20 years.
I'm wearing the same thing.
Are you? Are you? No.
What did I have on? The black shirt?
It's a black shirt, but you had something. You had like a logo.
Oh, okay.
It said StevieD's biggest fan. StevieD's biggest fan on the front of your shirt. So Johnny, I don't know if you heard everybody. This is Johnny Sanchez from Mad TV. We're going live on Facebook over here. Oh, you got a cocktail. I didn't even say old school.
No, this is water first. This is water.
All right. So did you hear the drinking word is old school?
Yes. This is how I go. I go water into wine.
Bro, you do 1 for 1?
Water into wine. Yes.
He's got his Boone's Farm over here. Over here.
Wait a minute. I didn't know we were going live, dude. You didn't tell me that.
No, this isn't live. This is don't pay attention. That's Facebook. I said if anyone has a question for my guest, then they're over here.
Oh, I see. But I'm not logged. Yeah,
No.
Okay. Because that's how Ruben and I do it. We're live on Facebook first when we do our podcast.
Yeah, we were doing it like that on Instagram, and then I would do Facebook. But now we record, and then my producer Sketch, she'll fix it in the mix, and then over here, I just miss the energy of like having the pressure of people watching or commenting. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Wait, you miss it or you don't miss it?
I do miss it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This is the first night I just decided, hey, I'll go live on Facebook in case anybody has a comment or, Stevie D, you got something in your nose or something like that. I like the pressure of having, and people,
listen, man, I dig, we used to do the other thing. For the first 8 or 9 months of our podcast, we did recording, full recording, and then we would, if we needed to edit, we would, but then we would release it a few days later. We started the Facebook Live around last October, November, man, and it's fun. It is. It's risky because you don't know what's going to happen, any glitches or somebody saying something, but it's great either way.
I had a lot of glitches. No, some people, like I had a guest, like, you're jumping on, bro, at 6:45. And then they're like, oh, where are you? I'm texting me. I won't mention any names, Matt Iseman. But anyway, so some people, I won't mention Matt Iseman, but couldn't get on. So this way, we're doing it on Monday, and then Sketch will edit it sometime. And I ramble, man. So last week, we went like hour and 45. And I'm like, you called me, and we were talking about less is more. What did I say? Less is more. Don't fucking beat them in the head. And they're like, okay, bro, it was funny for about 38 minutes, and then I got to get up and stretch.
Totally, man. It's one of those things. And I feel like, especially when you're getting it going, you definitely want to leave them wanting more. So without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. I like an organic conversation. Not that, believe it or not, I'm not really professional. I don't over prepare. I know I look like I would really be like, at least 6 days getting ready for this show. Record a show, 5 minutes after recording one show, I'm working on the next show. I won't say that 90 minutes ago. I better find some pictures. I better read Johnny's bio. You don't need to. Here's the great thing. You don't even need to do that with me. And so first off, we're just going with this now, right? We're on. We're doing this. We're on, brother, but I know you so well. And so far I have guests that are friends of mine. So I haven't had, like, I used to do, there was MAV TV, not MAD TV that you're on, but I was on MAV, M-A-V. It was like a men's network. And I would do this red carpet stuff. And I did no preparation. And I don't even watch television. I'm like, hey, what show are you on? You're like, hey, moron. The publicists are like, keep moving down the line, go down the line. Don't talk to the guy with the keep on haircut. I got to tell you, man, people don't understand that do interviews on any type of red carpet, no matter what it is, that's some work, man. That is not, it looks easy, but people don't realize that's some work right there. I wouldn't want to do that. You've never done it? No, the only thing we ever did on Mad TV was we did some interviews on carpet. I asked cast members of Mad TV, like, trying to get people to talk. And I remember going, I'm good, man. You don't need to ask me to do this again. If you're standing there and then their like publicist steps in front of him, I'm sorry, who are you with? I know. Right. And then they whisper back to them and then they skip over you. And you're like, and then, hey, by the way, you're like Mad TV. They go, oh, we love Mad TV. Oh, no, not Mad. Mad. Do you know Johnny Sanchez? Anyway, listen, I want to show you something. All right. Because I've been, now I, on the other hand, I'm a research guy, like doing my homework. I know, buddy.
So I got this. Now, the book, listen, I know the book title isn't that great. Boys' Toys of the 70s and 80s.
Is that some Nambla? Is that some,
I probably
I
shouldn't
like
even
little
have,
boys?
you know what? With everything going on right now, I probably shouldn't even have. You can cut that out. Just edit that out.
No, by the way, just real quick, while you're showing me, before you show me that, I had Heather Storm on the show last week, and Heather's she's on car shows and Garage Squad. She's like a host on car shows. So I was telling her she rocks a lot of Daisy Dukes, and I'm like, hey, I used to rock Daisy Dukes, but they weren't called. They're just called Levi's cutoffs, man. Like, hey, when your Levi's get all jacked up and you get holes, you just cut them off.
You just cut them off.
I sent this to her after the show. It was a picture of me in the paper. Doing a Willie with Daisy Dukes on. Hey, working it.
First of all, hold up. Pull it up again because I was really looking at the bike more than you. Let me see the.
No, you weren't. You want to see my legs again.
Oh, shoot. Now I do. Okay, so no, here's what caught my attention. Not the legs, although that's a great pick. It's the fact that you were one of the kids that had the mag rims.
Well, I can tell you a story about that too. All right. Did you have was that the bike you had? Show me again.
Well, here's what's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to show you the three of them. This was one that was for sale. This is a Sears Roebuck. Okay.
All right.
And here's the other one. Now you see that one?
Yes.
That's
the
basically
skinny ass tires.
Yeah, it's the Huffy BMX. It's the it's actually the motocross look bike.
The
motocross look. So that was my first bike was the Huffy. You obviously had, I don't know. That looked like that might have been a Schwinn.
Dude, no. I couldn't afford it. You know what's funny? I got my first Schwinn like 2 years ago. I got my first Schwinn because I grew up, Poe in Kentucky, poor white trash. We didn't have. The only time I got a nice fucking bike, Johnny, is when I got a paper route, and I say every week I'd buy. I was like fucking put $12 towards some pedals, and then I'd get some grips. It was like, you ever see Citizen Kane? My bike was my Rosebud. That was Rosebud. That was my shit. But up until I was like 15, I was a Huffy dude. And no matter if I put the card in the spokes to sound like a Harley, that's a Huffy. That's a fucking. You go over and street jump and you break the frame.
Let me tell you something, dude. Everybody in my neighborhood had, for the most part, most of them had Schwinns, and then there was these rich kids, a little few blocks further that had the Red Line and the PK Ripper. I don't know if you remember these kids.
Bro.
These are $500 bikes. Okay.
Whoa. The chrome frame Red Line.
The one guy had the chrome Red Line. The other guy had the candy apple red PK Ripper.
Wow.
And I'm over there with my Huffy. But get this, man. My parents bought me that Huffy when I was 8. And I had it up until I was 14 because I didn't grow enough. It still fit. And then the bike got stolen outside of a Thrifty, which is now Rite Aids. But they were Thrifties back in the day, in the 80s. And what's interesting is I remember going in with my friends. We weren't planning on going into a store, so we didn't bring our locks with us. My two buddies were on the 110 speed. They were on 110 speed. One guy was on the handlebars, and his buddy was riding. And then I came in, and I'll never forget this, Stevie. I remember they go, come on, let's go in real quick. We just want to get some, I don't know if it was ice cream or something. And I said, yeah, I don't know. I think I'll stay out here with the bikes. And they go, oh, my God, we're just going in for 5 minutes. So I walk in, 5 minutes. Stevie, I was nervous. They were still in there. I walk out. Bike is gone. My Huffy. Here's the crazy thing. About a year later, I saw this kid in high school, and I looked and I went, those are my forks and those are my tires.
Yeah, because he all parted it out at that time.
Because he parted it out. So
you're like, those are my KKT Lightning pedals.
And I had one red tire. It was a silver Huffy, and I had one red tire, one black tire, because I was trying to put it together like you were doing. I was buying things as I went. Yep. So I didn't say anything because there was no way to prove it. So cut to I think it was my 20-year class reunion.
Yeah.
I see this guy, I say hi to him and all the friends. He was from the rival high school. We're talking, and I pull him aside.
Yeah.
His name was Eric Crawford. And I go, hey, dude, did you steal a bike in front of that? And his face dropped, dude. And I go, that was my bike, bro. I go, you broke my heart. And his wife was looking like she saw the concern on his face. And she comes walking over. This is the class reunion, right? And she goes, honey, what's wrong? And he goes, and I just blurted out. I go, your husband
He's a
stole
fucking
my
thief.
bike
So, yeah.
when we were 14, and I never forgot it. And she goes, baby, really? And he goes, yeah, man, I'm sorry, man. I go, dude, you crushed me, bro.
You were a dick.
Right.
Eric Crawford, you're a dick, Eric Crawford.
This is why I got to get back to him. Oh, well, he already knows.
But you know what? Someone stole my rosebud. Someone stole my bike. It was like $500. And still to this day, if I find out who did, I'm going to kick him in the nuts. To this day.
Dude, it's the worst.
Because I work. Dude,
Yeah.
My kids, like, during the quarantine, I've ordered them a trampoline, a swimming pool, a swing, all kinds of shit. I'm like, bro, my mom would say, get out of the house. We didn't even have air conditioning. It's like, if it's too hot now, they're not even going outside. My mom was like, what are you doing in the house? Are the street lights on? You don't even come back in the house until the street lights are on. There's a garden hose. If you're thirsty, you get a goddamn drink, and you get on your piece of shit hubby, and go find something to do.
You know what's funny? At about 5 o'clock, my daughter goes, I feel like riding my scooter. I go, all right, we can do it for about 30 minutes. I go, I just don't want to. So I go, no, you know it's hot outside, right? And she goes, yeah, it's fine. I go, okay. So we walk outside. We didn't even get to where her scooter was. She goes, oh, you know what? Never mind. Yeah.
She's like, yeah. You're like, you don't know what hot is.
And here's the thing. When it was blistering hot, I grew up in the San Joaquin Valley. So, you know, right now it's 108.
Tulare?
Huh? What?
Was that around Tulare? Around there? Around Fresno? Around, you went to Fresno?
It's pronounced Tulare.
It's Tulare.
It's, if you hand something to a guy named Larry, give it to Larry. Okay?
That sounds redneck. Tulare? You from Tulare?
Yeah, you know what? It is a little redneck out there.
I want to show you something from Tulare.
Okay.
So you know my Kentucky Porsche, my sweet Trans Am?
Well, of course I know the Kentucky Porsche. I love it.
Guess where I bought it? In Tulare. That's what it looked like. They fucked it up.
Ow.
But then look what it looks like now.
Yeah,
Bam!
I remember when you bought it. Stevie,
And I said, bro, can you call some people up there, tell them not to stab me? Because I'm going to have a lot of cash in my pocket, and I'm going to Tulare.
Oh, my. Okay, let me ask you something. I remember when you bought that car. I don't remember you telling me you got it from there.
Yeah, I drove up one like Tuesday. I had a bunch of cash in my pocket because they're going like hotcakes around LA. Everyone's just got stupid Kardashian money.
It's too tough to do it in LA. Yeah.
I'll send someone over with cash to pick it up. So it was like a Tuesday. I'm like, let me look outside my little comfort zone. And so I picked up some shitty auto trader. And I think my son actually said, Daddy, I found a Trans Am. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, well, some Mexican probably put hydraulics on it, but all right, I can still.
Oh, really?
I can still rock with that. That's old school. Old school.
Oh, that's old school.
I said old school over here on Facebook. You got to drink when I say old school.
And
But I called the dude, and first his son-in-law said, hey, bro, you got cash? I'm like, do you own the fucking car? He's like, no, I'm his son-in-law. I go, dude, I'm not giving you my cash, bro. Do you have the fucking title with your name on it? You're not getting my cash, bro. So the dude called me back, and he's like, oh, hey, did you talk to my son-in-law? Don't give him any money.
Hilarious. Are you serious?
He goes, don't fucking give that guy money, man. So I went up. It was a Tuesday, and I said, I'll be there tonight, bro. He goes, you want to come on like Saturday? I go, hell no, I'm coming tonight. So I get up in Tulare, and I'm driving around some goddamn farms and shit. And I went off the grid, bro.
Oh, you're off the. This is a personal owner.
Yes. So he's like, turn left, up, go 15 miles, turn at a tractor and some shit. So I get like right around the corner and I call my wife and I'm like, this shit looks sketchy right here, man. I go, look, I got a lot of money in my pocket. I'm like, let me see if I can make the deal. And if I don't call you back in 30 minutes, you know, I said, call me because some shit, you know, it's not right.
Yeah.
So I get the BSing with the guy. I love the car. We're joking around, you know, and everything. Even though I put about another 12 grand into it. So, you know, it wasn't as sweet as he said it. But anyway, at least I didn't give his son-in-law the money. Anyway, he says,
but let me tell you, that's interesting you bring that up because one time, there was a time where I was almost, you know, my ex-wife's dream car, she said she always wanted, she was born in 1975. She's like, I just want a 75 Corvette someday. And I found a Corvette, dude. This was when I was on Mad TV. So I was like, I can get this. Dude, it was black mint from Fresno, out of Fresno. This guy was, and Stevie, he was only asking 10 grand for it.
What year was it?
75.
All right.
With the T-tops.
Did it have an engine?
Yeah. he did say
You're like Fred Flintstone. You're like, bro, you can pedal it. It's good. You get cardio.
What? Isn't that? But you know what? This was when the real estate crash was happening and people were literally selling their classic cars for nothing because they didn't make their mortgage payments, dude. So I should have looked into it, but it was out of Fresno in around 2008, 2009, dude. So
2008 crash. Everybody needed cash.
I wanted to show you something else because I know you're gonna love this.
Okay.
So, and I'm saving the second one for. All right. So this was, as you can see, we got Evel Knievel,
bro,
action figures.
Bro, Chachki, let me tell you something.
Oh, I got it right here.
So I was going to ask you, what was your favorite toy ever? That was mine.
Hold on. There he is. Now
the Sun Cycle.
Get this, dude. I was getting.
Shit.
Have you seen the Evel Knievel toys on Facebook?
No.
No. Okay. So I knew I should have messaged you. There's a page. It's called Evel Knievel Toys, and they brought this back. They brought the wind-up Evel Knievel doll with the motorcycle, and I looked at it. It's for $49.95 or $50, and I remember I said to myself, I'm going to ask Stevie what he thinks. How much do you think it was when that came out in 1976, 1977?
Well, I just saw the price. So let me say, I'm going to take a guess. $9.94? I don't know.
Dude, you know what's so funny? Because I initially was going to I didn't mean you to see it, but I was going to ask because I remember thinking it had to be about $10.
Well, I had no idea because Santa brought mine. So Santa Claus, I didn't pay for it. But was that the coolest toy ever, bro? We didn't even get to Elvis. Speaking of Evel Knievel, I got Matt Iseman in the waiting room, and Matt is all about Evel Knievel. So stick around because when Travis Pastrana did the Caesar's Palace jump, Matt was there. They made him a custom leather Evel Knievel jumpsuit.
For Matt Iseman?
Yes.
So how much material did that take? That's a big guy.
What'd you say?
How much material was
and
that?
There's my Evel Knievel jumpsuit. Mine was like polyester.
Yeah, here's what's great about you two guys. You guys can put on that outfit and look like Evel Knievel.
Matt's a stud. He's like 6'3". He puts it on,
bro.
Oh,
my God. Huge. But if I put on that outfit, I look like Evel Knievel's valet.
Now
Evel Sanchez.
You get on that Huffy, bro, and put on your Evel Knievel jumpsuit. We're gonna show our kids what's up.
So I know we're also big Elvis fans as well, and like we were talking, how my dad started collecting those porcelain decanters after his death, and I started collecting he collected all the decanters, the whiskey decanters with the whiskey still in them to this day, and I started collecting. Remember you
didn't do what I did as a kid and open and fill them up with iced tea and.
Well, listen, my dad, you'd have to crack that seal.
Oh, bro, I even wore these for Matt, Evel Knievel sneakers.
Oh, look at Matt Iseman. You know, Matt Iseman is a combo. He's more of a Super Dave Osborne.
He is like Super Dave. You're right. You're right.
He's more of a Super Dave than Evil, even though I'm not trying to insult the guy. But
no, he's a star. I got to have you back because you and I can talk at least 30 minutes on
I
Elvis.
know, dude. I know this is a quick one.
I got Elvis, his best friend sends me shit.
Well,
Bro.
listen, we'll do tell you what, each one we'll do kids, we did kids, we did Evil, and we'll do Elvis and some other stuff. We'll do the 80s next time. We'll do the 80s.
Please do, because you and I can go forever and ever. I keep getting in trouble because I go over.
Dude, don't worry about it. I get it. Ruben and I do it all the time. By the way, tell Matt I said that my daughter just said hello from American Ninja Girl.
All right, but everybody, Johnny's. Where can they find you, Johnny? Where can they find you?
At Johnny Sanchez Comic everywhere. Johnny Sanchez Comic.
One of the funniest guys. One of my homies. And all right, Punch, you were great tonight, buddy. Always.
Oh, we didn't even talk about chips. Next time.
Next time it's all Elvis.
Yes.
All right, brother.
All right.
Thank you, brother. Love you, man.
Love you, brother. Thank you.
See you, buddy. All right, everybody. That was Johnny Sanchez. One of my buddies. You saw him on Mad TV and Comedy Central Special. Check him out. And this next guy, we go way back also. He's a stud. He's like a superhero. He's I think he's still one of the most eligible bachelors. I don't know. He may correct me on that. But you've seen him on a lot of shows, and of course you've seen him for I think 12 or 13 seasons on American Ninja Warrior. Give it up for Matt Iseman, everybody.
Stevie D, my guy.
Love you, brother.
Look at that. Oh, that is an old school photo of me right there.
I got an older school photo.
That's Dr. Drake Ramore right there, buddy.
Look at that, my man.
Oh, that is good. How you doing? Wait, were you just on with Sanchez? Or was that?
Yes, he said to tell you hi. He was trying to eat into your time. I go, look, Johnny.
Oh, man, I love my guy.
The red light has been on for 4.5 minutes, Johnny.
Sanchez blowing the light?
You're blowing the light, bro. Disrespectful.
And you have DP on tonight, too? Dwayne Perkins?
DP's on. All of our homies. The drinking word tonight is old school. I don't know if you heard the drinking word.
Did you hear me? I said old school photo of me right there.
Right there. Old school.
Old school.
Did there, Matt Iseman.
Bro, how you doing, Stevie?
I'm good, buddy. I didn't mention your name, but I kind of mumbled it like we've had technical glitches. So now we're pre-record on Monday. I said in the past, a couple of times when we went on IG Live, people couldn't jump on Matt Iseman and had technical. They weren't able to, Matt Iseman, jump. I don't, for whatever reason, flip phone. I was going to show you something up here, but I can't find it. Hold on.
Oh, dude, I see that old school boombox back there. Oh, that's nice. Look, I'm wearing it.
Oh, shit. I got that shirt, too.
I put this on in honor of you, buddy.
And look what I'm wearing. Did you see this?
Those are nice.
Sneakers.
I got to say, Evel Knievel, he nailed it with all the imaging. Back before that was a thing, just that suit he had, the logos, it was all top notch. And it embodied, oh my God, I just got sent one. They're making new versions of those old ones. I got the new old one. Because when I did Evil Live, I think they quoted me like an original, one of those stunt cycles. Those are like $1,000 unopened now. Yeah, but I remember that was one of those toys. Like, you remember the commercials? Whenever you'd see them, they're like, "Oh, the Slinky," and it would jump downstairs. It never worked. That thing though, that stunt cycle, the Evel Knievel stunt cycle, was better than advertised. That thing was awesome. It would just stay upright.
You could land it.
That was so ahead of its time. One of the classic toys of all time.
Yeah, Slinky never went down the steps, but the Evel Knievel stunt cycle could do a flip and still land. Like, the action figure wasn't as accurate as they make them today. Yeah. Like last week I had WWE former champion Candice Michelle. She's had action figures and they do 3D imaging. Yeah. They're like, oh shit, just get a bendable Stretch Armstrong and put a helmet on Stretch Armstrong and put him on a motorcycle.
That was it. It worked. It worked though, man. I don't know the kids I don't know that they have physical toys like those, and everything feels virtual and the computers, everything. But to have those old toys and to build, I remember we would spend, we'd take all the Hot Wheels cars. We'd have Evil jumping Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars and building the ramp and
line them up.
Oh my God!
He's done 14 Hot Wheels.
14 Hot Wheels.
15.
I loved it.
That was the best, man.
Those were the days.
But I'm so jealous because you have the leather custom-made jumpsuit.
Full leather. And here's the problem, though. Like I had it put on me. It was made in somewhere in Europe. I don't even know where. On my measurements, but apparently I was not accurate because this thing is skin tight leather. I put it on, and the only time the times I've worn it have been when we did Evil Live and Evil Live 2.0, and first one was in Vegas where you're walking around, it's 100 degrees at night, and the second time was out at San Bernardino at the airport where it was like 110, and I'm soaking through it, staining it, going, I feel like a superhero. I'm a daredevil.
Did you put the baby powder inside?
I did not. That would have been a good tip. I wish you would have told me that before, Stevie.
I heard like Robert Plant or something said when you wear the leather pants, always put the baby powder first.
Oh, yeah.
Slide them on.
I will tell you that I would love to have a pleather one or one that's stretchable and breathable.
Yeah.
But the leather is awesome. These are great. It's inspired me to try to lose weight to fit better in my evil suit.
No, you're always in shape. When I first met my wife 20 years ago, I met her at the Comedy Store, and I used to do a Friday night show up in the belly room at Sergio Love, the Pimp Daddy show.
Sergio Love.
Sergio Love. No one knows where Sergio is now. He's in witness protection or something.
Oh, man. In my convertible.
My convertible.
My convertible.
My convertible.
Oh, my. People don't know. We're like, it is, you know the bits of your fellow comedians, especially those ones like when you were grinding out day in and day out. Those comics, like you could recite their acts better than they can.
Yeah. My convertible.
So I'm sorry, I interrupted. You're doing the show. The gangsters.
Oh no,
the gangsters of comedy.
I had leather pants.
Oh.
The first night I met my wife, I had a cut off Purple Rain T-shirt on, and leather pants. And so,
was it arm day that day? Did you have the pump going?
Oh yeah, of course I wear that. I should have given Johnny Sanchez shit because the first night I met him in the belly room, 24 whatever years ago. I think I was wearing a vest and work boots. I'm like, "What's up, bro?" And then he goes after me, and he's like, does 8 minutes on ripping my ass. Like, hey, bro, shouldn't you be doing some crunches or something? What are you telling jokes for, man? Are you in the Village People? Why are you wearing a vest?
Oh my God!
To a comedy show, man. And I loved him ever since.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I met Katie, my wife, wearing leather pants, and not proud of that. But a few years ago, I had a birthday party for her, and I got the leather pants out for the first time in like 15 years. And I put them on, Matt, and I was walking on like this. They were standing up in the corner by themselves because.
You know what? You should be proud of that because you're a Trans Am leather pants kind of guy, Stevie, and the woman who's going to marry you is going to be the woman who embraces that.
And she did. She's like, well, he's a work in progress. And 20 years later, she's like, we're making a little progress.
She's like, you know what? No one else is going to want him. That's always my goal with women.
She's the queen of my double wide now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Buddy, you're one of the few, I don't know, you and Ken Jeong are one of the only two comics, for people that don't know, that you were a doctor or you were in medical school first.
Did medical school, got my MD, and was doing residency when I decided to take a break, move out to Hollywood, start doing stand-up, and never looked back. And I'm so happy. I mean, especially right now when doctors are literally on the front lines, life or death in this pandemic. And I'm out here doing awesome podcasts with you from the safety of my own home. Yeah, it's, it was a crazy switch. Like I growing up, I never thought entertainment was an option. I grew up in Colorado, and I didn't know anyone who did entertainment. It just felt like a foreign world. Yeah. And I always, I did school and sports and got into medicine and just kind of realized my heart wasn't in it. And I think we're seeing right now, it's not a job, it's a calling. Like it's a sacred trust when people place their lives in your hands. And when I was having doubts, I just thought I got to resolve this. And I thought I'll come out to LA, I'll do stand up and I'll grow up. I'll get it out of my system and I'll go back and I'll be an adult. I'll be a doctor and I'll say it. Instead, I was like, oh, this is where I'm meant to be.
Were you like a funny doctor? Did you go, You got cancer, right?
I think I was hilarious. Yeah, right. Honk, honk. I don't. I think I've always thought I was funny. My friends from college and med school have said I'm like the 17th funniest one of our friends. So I think
out of 18.
Yeah, out of 18, they're like, oh yeah, you really should have a career in comedy. It's I don't know. I don't know where this came. And I was talking to my mom, and my mom goes, I don't know, because she and my dad, they grew up in small town Nebraska. They met in junior high. My dad's a doc, and they're the sweetest people, but they don't like the spotlight. And I'm like, more for me. She's like, I don't know where this came from. But I honestly, I say, like, people go into comedy for one of two reasons. Either they weren't hugged enough as a child, or they were hugged too much. And I was definitely in that latter group, where my mom just, anything I did was amazing. And so, like, anytime I perform, I feel like it's my mom's hugs. That's why I love it. I love that feeling, the attention, and just being in front of a crowd.
I think I'm the first one. I was driving with my kids yesterday, and I said some, their mommy, my wife wasn't with us, so I said some inappropriate poop joke, of course, and they laughed. I'm like, don't encourage them. I'm like, I heard that a lot from my teachers. I was like, don't encourage them.
Yeah.
And now I'm telling my own kids, don't encourage me.
Yeah.
We got more poop
hey guys,
jokes.
I got more. You want more? Yeah, no, Dad. No, they're giving you the light.
Yeah. They're like, isn't Sanchez up? What's going on?
Sanchez is he's going to get in your car and do a quick 10 minutes with your kids.
He's in the wings.
It's been crazy during this time. I've done stand-up really, I guess, once at the Factory when they were doing those streaming shows.
Oh yeah, you did it, no audience. How'd that go?
Yeah, no audience, and Craig Robinson was there, which was the saving grace.
But he came in, did the keyboards, and
and it was so surreal, because I think it's one thing if to do it at home, to do it like if I did stand-up like this for people, that'd be one thing. But to go into the church, to go into the Factory where you do it with crowds, and to be on that stage and to have the microphone and to be in the room that's empty telling your jokes, it was really hard. And I think it's, comedy is a dance. Like, you can't do it without an audience. That's the whole point. So I was so glad that they did it, because it was fun to get up, and I know the Factory was doing it to support the comics. Yeah. So I love that they were doing it, but it's tough. I mean, it's a scary time for stand-up, because I think people need to laugh, but it's just, the clubs are just it's tough. I saw Bert Kreischer's doing a drive-in theater tour. I
had Mike Marino on a couple weeks ago, and he goes, oh, this week. I said, you got any gigs? I was kind of being sarcastic. Got any gigs coming up? What do you want? And he's like, yeah, I'm doing a drive-in theater, like a drive-in movie theater this weekend. Just got some mention from my producer. I didn't see it. But anyway, but he said, no, when people, and I thought he was joking. And I think Graham Elwood, a couple other comics did one this past weekend, where they're like, no, people are in the drive-in, they're in the cars, and if they think you're funny, they honk. I'm like, are they like five? When I was in a drive-in movie theater as a teenager in my car, I didn't even know what movie was playing.
Yeah, it was a Bob Seger song. Yeah. Working on the night moves. Yeah, I mean, again,
in the
it's
front seat.
For the crowd, for the people in the cars, it's one thing. They could be laughing, but you're not getting it. When you're on stage, you're just in the cars and hearing horns. I mean, I'm so glad that comedians are figuring out ways and doing it, but it's tough, and it's tough. Like the New York, they were doing them outdoors, they were doing them in parks, and then those all got shut down.
So did San Diego. So did the Comedy Store down there the other day. I saw a couple of others. They were having them in the parking lot. Yeah. And they're like, I'm like, how are you hurting anyone in the parking lot? If they have chairs and tables, socially distant. Yeah. But no, tonight is the first night. I'm doing a Facebook Live, but that's just so I need the pressure of knowing somebody live is watching. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it is, again, I think it's different. Like, you adapt, right? If you're doing it to the phone, if you're doing it here, it's different as opposed to being on stage with the mic. Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's great that comedians are finding ways to perform, and podcasting and ways to connect with the audience, because I mean, look, people are consuming content, but right now they need humor, man. I think we all can use something just to take our minds off of everything that's going on, and just the constant drumbeat of of fear that we're all faced with.
And this cancel culture, like you can't do a joke or they're going to go back in your tweets 6 years ago. I'm like, I'm sure I've offended everybody on the planet. I'm an equal opportunity offender.
Let me save you the trouble.
Yeah.
Cancel me. Yeah.
Oh,
No, I think it's a shame because I also feel like that's the importance of comedy is sometimes tackling difficult subjects and talking about things that otherwise might be taboo and for comedy to be such an important way to sometimes broach a topic using humor and to present ideas that otherwise might not be talked about or where you can kind of infiltrate someone's defenses using comedy. And I mean, I look at like how many people I think have comedy has really been a great tool for breaking down walls. So I'm hopeful that the pendulum swings back and we kind of embrace that with comedy and just remember it's they're words and the way to counter them is with more words.
It's called a joke, and
it's a joke.
I talk about my sister being the man of the house and they're like, I think you're being insensitive. Do you think it? And I'm like, who do you think I ran it by first? If she didn't think it was funny, maybe she would still kick my ass. But I don't give a shit. She said I could do the joke. Yeah. Anyway, Sanchez just said, American Ninja Iseman right over here. So,
Sanchez.
Oh, real quick. This guy is so great. Let me tell a story about Matt Iseman real quick because he's the most humble guy. I think he's even won an Emmy. Did you win an Emmy?
Yeah, I have an Emmy. I'm so humble that the trophy sits in my bedroom, Stevie.
This right next to
this thing that I polish every night. I'm just polishing my trophy. Leave me alone.
But a couple of years ago, my son had a birthday party at Dojo Boom, and which is out here. We're at in Gore Hills, Thousand Oaks, something. And Kevin the Bull.
Kevin Bull. Yeah, Kevin Bull.
Yeah, from American Ninja Warrior, opened this killer indoor facility. Like we had monkey bars at the playground. These kids today go in, they have foam, but they can't get hurt. It's impossible. You do 9 flips and you're gonna land.
I can get hurt in there. They can't.
Yeah, we could still like pull you and I.
Oh yeah.
But it was amazing. So I had his birthday party there, and we're about to cut the cake. And Mr. Matt Iseman here, Mr. American Ninja Warrior, did a video for my son. And I saved it. We're about to cut the cake. And I said, everybody, hold on. Somebody would like to wish Colin a very special happy birthday. I put up the iPad and he goes, hey, Colin, this is Matt Iseman from American Ninja Warrior. And you did a whole thing about my son, blah, blah, blah. And after that, it was like, Matt Iseman's the best ever. I wish he was my dad. Matt Iseman didn't pay for this party.
Matt Iseman didn't pay for anything. It's so funny to me, Steve. I get such a kick out of doing those videos. And to me, because I grew up in front of the TV, I just remember watching, and I always thought, man, what would it have been like? Because I loved the $6 Million Man, and if like Lee Majors had done a message like, "Hey, Matt Iseman, it's Lee Majors, you can be bionic too," I would have lost my mind. And kids, I don't think are quite as impressed as I would have been, but to be able to do these videos and reach out to the kids who are fans of the show is so awesome. And it's been. Again, we just finished season 12. It's going to be coming out September 7th, and we managed to shoot it during this lockdown. It was amazing. We went to St. Louis. We did it in the Dome.
Wow!
And we moved heaven and earth to do it in a safe way and to pull this season off. And I'm so excited it's coming out. And it was just awesome seeing these ninjas out there and how many of them were just like, oh, it's so nice to be doing this, to be doing something normal, and fun, and just to kind of grab back that sense of normalcy in the midst of all this to have those things. So that's going to be coming out, beginning of September. And I can't wait for people to see it, man.
Was there an audience for that?
We didn't have an audience. So we're in a dome where the Rams used to play, 80,000 seats. And so we shot it, we made the course the centerpiece. And what we did was we could only have 3 ninjas in the building at a time. So one was on the course, 2 others would cheer, but then we did jumbotrons lining the course, and we'd have family and friends watching.
Oh, that's so cool!
And be able to cheer, and they could talk back and forth, and it's not the same as having tens of thousands of people there, but I think everyone gets it. This is the kind of the reality we're dealing with, and I thought we did a great job, and it was amazing how once we got going. It felt the same. The people are tackling these obstacles. They put their time in, and at a certain point, at least when I was there, I just kind of just focused on, hey, these people. It felt the same. It felt the same to me.
Really? Did you have one of these?
We piped in a little crowd noise. Oh yeah.
Did you have a big budget like this, man?
Oh yeah. We would pipe in a little crowd noise, and Akbar and I are both like enthusiastic. We get really excited. So it was fun, and it was just nice that we were able to pull it off because work. So many productions have just shut down. So it's nice to be
still working, brother. Have you ever tried the course yourself?
Broken foot, broken ankle the last 2 times. Not only have they told me never to do it again, I told them, I'm like, if you guys see me look at an obstacle, tackle me. Don't let me go near it again. But my days of ninja, I would like to say are in my past. I don't know that I ever would have been well suited to Ninja Warrior. But
no, I had Trish Sir on the show, and you and Trish used to
we had a clean house together. She was a yard sale diva. I was the go-to guy.
The bigger the hair, the closer to the lower.
Oh, closer to the Kentucky girl, Stevie.
That's right. She called you a superhero, like a real-life superhero. But anyway, how weird is this today? This was my memory 5 years ago.
Oh, I know.
It's these studs right there, people.
Look at that.
Anyway, Matt Iseman, I love you, brother. I appreciate you taking time to do this.
Stevie, so great to see you, buddy. Thank you.
You too, my man.
Have me on, buddy. Be well.
When does the first episode air again?
September 7th for American Ninja Warrior and Live Rescue, the show where we follow first responders live. That's coming back. We're going to be live starting this Friday on A&E. So we'll be following paramedics, firefighters, and first responders. So check it out on A&E.
You're the man, buddy. Thanks for stopping by.
All right, Steve.
Bring your BMX over. Let's do some sweet jumps in the street and Evil for life.
Old school, bro. Old school. Have a good one, bud.
Good callback. See you, man. Thank you, buddy. So this next comic is one of my favorite people, one of my favorite comics in the world. And you've seen him on Conan O'Brien. He was a regular correspondent on The Tonight Show. And Aisha Tyler and I used to call him DP. Give it up for my man, Dwayne Perkins. What's up, my man? Look at him. He's in a comedy club. He went to a comedy club just to do this interview.
Right.
There you go. Playing some old school for us. Did you hear the drinking word?
I did, yes. So I guess.
So I don't think Dwayne drinks, but he drinks caffeine. So we're going to get him all jacked up on caffeine tonight.
Right.
He'll be doing Taibo in about 10 minutes like this.
You know what? When it cools down, I really might do a little Taibo. Okay? I gotta get rid of this quarantine 15, and it was too hot to work out today. So when the sun goes down, I saw Billy Blanks. I saw him about a couple of weeks ago at the car wash, and I looked a couple of times. I'm like, damn! It looks like Billy needs to do some Taibo. Don't tell him I said that. What'd you say about me, bro? You said something, bro. Right. That's great.
How you been, man?
Good. I'm just. I have no complaints. I'm just enjoying quarantine life. I mean, a few complaints, but nothing too much. Nothing more. Yeah, nothing too crazy. And it's always good to talk to you.
Thank you, man.
Just trying to beat the heat,
Beat the heat. We're talking about some old school. We're talking about you grew up in Brooklyn, right?
I did, absolutely. BK Brooklyn. All day.
Yeah. Yes. Did you hear they arrested Jam Master Jay's 2 murderers today?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why did it take so long? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, well, my producer Sketch says there's something sketchy going on, but I said I reached out to Run DMC and offered to fill in as their DJ, but they haven't returned my call yet. Did you hear the top of the show? I figured out how to create world peace.
How's that?
Did you hear that?
I didn't hear
Electric slide, bro. Electric slide.
Nice.
Everybody was just,
I went to a country club once, and they have like 100 of those different dances. It's like amazing, like 100 different line dances.
Like, okay, for the next 2 songs, it's the boot scoot boogie.
Exactly. But that's cool that they arrested Jam Master Jay's killer. I feel like I don't know. I got to research it, but I feel like might be at least tangentially related to 50 Cent, but I don't know that for
really. Well, I listened to this podcast called Disgraceland. It's all music, stories that are like sketchy and the underbelly of what's going on. So I listened to Run DMC recently because I love Run DMC. And they were saying Jam Master Jay was like a thug. He was like a drug thug. He was like the real deal. He used to mess people up, like jack the chains and stuff.
Well, I think that out of those three, he was the one in the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think DMC was that St. John's University.
Yeah.
I don't know if he really went there, but he said
he wasn't
that.
jacking anybody's chains. It's
Right.
To St. John University.
And
no, I love all that.
And I acquired the knowledge.
Yeah. After 12th grade, I went straight to college.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, my son and his buddy, his best friend, did the talent show in school last year, and they did It's Tricky. And, back then, the lyrics, they were like, on the rate, they weren't even, you didn't have to do explicit lyrics. They were just like implied, the lyrics weren't even bad. But when the teachers go, we need to read the lyrics to make sure, I'm like, oh. So I ended up having to rewrite like the whole song. I said we check them. Something when we're on the field, we're like Beckham. Like I had to like think of some references to like current athletes and shit. But
right.
I didn't even realize like I was just telling Sketch, my producer, like over the weekend I did a Belle Biv DeVoe karaoke, Poison. Never trust a big sudden smile that girl is. I'm like now, and you got like Cardi B doing WAP. I'm like, oh, I got to keep my kids away from that song.
Yeah.
It's like the number one song.
It's crazy, man. I back in the day, there was a song by Spoonie G, right? And I think it was called like might have been called Spoonie's Rhyming, but the bass line was
yeah.
And he has a song about, here's a line about he says, it said that then I meet a girl and I take her to bed, and they bleeped out the word bed.
They like you got bed?
Yeah, like he just said I take her to bed, and he bleeped out the word bed. Like that's the tamest thing you hear now. Yeah.
But some songs made it under the wire. You ever heard Erotic City? Play the we can put into the dawn, making love till cherry's gone. But they say it. I'm like, how'd they get away with saying the F word? Like making dawn, making love till cherry's gone.
And you know what's great is culturally, it's weird because we like to push those envelopes, but then we still have like a Puritan kind of value system that goes way back, right?
Yeah.
When you're like in Asia and they play these songs, they don't bleep out the curses at all. They don't even think to.
On the radio, they don't?
You're like you're just be in a mall and it'll just be like every single curse is playing and people are just shopping and you know what I mean? And you're like, what the hell is going on?
Girl, you're looking good once you back that ass up.
Right.
Where's the Gucci store?
Exactly.
But honestly, like these lyrics today, like are so like I feel like I'm like a get off my lawn kids, like an old dad.
Well, you know what it is that yes and no, right? Because it's like it's not that like look at you, you're a hip dad. You're probably the hippest dad in the whole school, right? In the whole in like of all the dads in your circle, you're the hippest, right? I'm just gonna say that. I know that's.
Well, I'm immature. You mean I'm immature and I can relate to gifts?
Right. So it's not that you're like some crude. It's just like be creative, and you're an artist. We're both artists, so it's like I don't believe in censorship, but like at some point, like be tricky about it. Be creative,
Yeah.
Like when DMC said, it's tricky, and I think that to me it's more the lack of innuendo and a lack of But there's something to be said about just going right at something too. There's something to be said about that. So I'm not mad at him.
Even It's Tricky. It's Tricky is actually the song. My son and his best friend is actually Dr. Dre's nephew.
Yeah.
They did the talent show at school. And I'm like, you guys are going to do, like, actually my son was going to do this other song by like, it was one of those wimpy ass band, Mumford and Sons or something. I'm like, no, you're not. Oh, no, you're not doing that. Nobody wants to sit in the audience. So he and his buddy, they got around to It's Tricky. I'm like, trust me, old school, the teachers be bumping, like it's going to go off.
Right.
So I rewrote the whole thing. I'm like, but if we're doing it, if you're going to ask me to help you, we're going to have rehearsals. We're going to have choreography.
Right.
We're going to get down. We're having old school Adidas. We're having shell toes. I'm not playing. So I made them rehearse. 6 o'clock, you be here. So I sent it to my son's friend's mom. His best friend's mom, who's Dr. Dre's sister, and she showed Dre. And I didn't even know she was going to show him. And I'm on the side going, I'm like, you prowl the stage. You're like angry. You're like this. And you're like, boom, coming at them. And I'm like in the back, like in their face. And I'm like, project. You're not playing to the front of the room. You're playing to the back of the room. And so I'm in the video and he's like, who's the crazy dude with the feathered hair? And she's like, oh, you don't understand. He's on a whole nother level. Stevie D is on a whole nother level. You don't even know.
That's great. That's great. I love it.
I was trying to find a picture of me back in Kentucky. I was like, I won the talent show with break dancing and doing all this stupid stuff where they're like, boy, you might want to go on out to California because.
Right. I really like Kentucky. I've been to Kentucky a bunch. I've performed in Lexington a bunch. Louisville a bunch. I've driven from Lexington to Louisville. Louisville. Sorry. You're right. Louisville. So the question I have for you is, it seems like when you're in Kentucky, people of Kentucky think of themselves as the Midwest, right? But when you're not in Kentucky, you think of it as the South.
South, yeah.
Would you think of Kentucky as the South or as the Midwest?
Well, they're actually neutral. They're actually neutral.
Okay.
So they didn't have a dog in the race and all that.
Right.
And then we're poor. We don't.
But just sort of like, but regionally, what region would you affix it to?
They say it's the South. They say it's anything north of that, like Indiana, Illinois.
Right.
They're like Hoosiers or whatever. But growing up, we didn't really say, hey, we're from the South. We're just like, we're just poor. We're just country ass, whatever,
Right. No, I like Kentucky. And I tell you, Louisville has some great areas too. I walked around and I was like, man, there's some really pretty houses in Louisville. See, I can say it. Louisville.
Yeah, I grew up. I think you grew up with a lot of siblings. I grew up with 3 sisters and a single mom. And when my parents divorced when I was young, like 4 years old, my dad moved up to Louisville. But we didn't even have a car. So he could have lived in California and I was still going to see his ass once a year. It didn't matter.
Right.
He was 100 miles away, but he could have been 1,000 miles away because I still didn't see his ass and we didn't have a car or anything. But, I was saying to Sanchez earlier, my mom would just say, get out of the house. You have a bike and you have a garden hose if you're thirsty. So get your ass out of the house.
Right, exactly.
I don't care. Didn't you? I love the story of your parents were divorced also, right?
Yeah. Never married, divorced, similar, yes.
Oh, yeah. And I love the bit you do about your siblings had all
names, yeah.
names, and they just got tired on the last one.
Right. Yeah, I say that I have a sister named, which is true, a sister named Tashana, another sister named Tajima, another one named Talisha, another named Torian, and my last brother is named Victor. Yeah, it's like they got the Victor and they're like, let's cut this out. So basically, I'm the oldest and Victor's the youngest. So we basically bookend the situation. Like it's like, my name is like kind of a black name, but there's some white Dwaynes. So we kind of bookend it with just sort of your regular run-of-the-mill names. In the middle, they got jiggy with it. Yeah, they got
jiggy with it. No.
Right.
And the last one, they're like, we're just out of names. We're just tired.
Exactly. And they all start with T, too. At some point, you just got to things seem like they were a good idea. Then it's like, you know what, we did it. Let's, we don't got to keep this up.
Yeah, we're proving our point.
Exactly. That's exactly, yeah.
And I always think of you when I'm playing some old school, speaking of old school, was It Takes Two or was it Joy and Pain? You saw your dad in the video.
It Takes Two. My father's in the video at the end. Yeah. When he says, okay, now, Easy Rock, when I count to 3, I want you to get busy. Ready? 1, 2, 3, get loose. And then my dad pops in for a few frames, actually. I didn't even know it. I was like, and next time I saw him, I was like, are you in the It Takes Two video? And he was like, yeah, I was hanging out with some people. We stumbled upon a video set, you know what I mean? So
I was like, Dad, that was my weekend. You're supposed to take me.
Right.
Did an ice cream that weekend.
Right, exactly.
He called you too. He's like, oh, my car's in the shop. My dad did that a couple of times.
Right. Well, I was lucky. My father lived in another part of Brooklyn when he got out of the service. So I was able to just hop on a train. And when I was a kid, I started taking a train by myself, the subway, when I was like 10 or 11. So I would just hop on a train and go places, and I would go visit him. I don't know. I would like to think it was safer, but I don't know if it was. But I think parents just trusted their kids a little more, you know?
Yeah.
Because we're talking like a 40, you know.
Were you
40,
by yourself? You'd get on the train by yourself?
Yeah, I would walk to the train station, hop on a train, go for like an hour, switch trains. And, you know, basically I was going from like 10 or 11. I was going from Coney Island, Brooklyn to East New York, Brooklyn. Yeah. So, and these are both kind of like, you know, renowned kind of tough places.
You had to know how to do the trains and all that.
Oh yeah, you know, to this day, I have a New York City subway map. Is my shower curtain.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I was so intimidated because I'd never been to New York, and about 4 or 5 years ago, I went for a book signing at the Javits Center.
Oh, nice.
And I still wouldn't get on the train. I'm like, oh, I don't know about all this stuff. I'm on the train. I don't know where I'm going to end up, you know, in Queens. I don't know. And then one night we had a couple of drinks, my wife and I'm like, let's get on the subway. I'm down with it.
Nice.
So luckily, I didn't get jacked, but it's a whole different world now. Like, I don't let my kids go in the front yard without me watching them. Like, they have like porta patch in the back. You go in the back because then we got a fence, but I don't even let them. Where, you know, you and I growing up, did you have a bike? Sanchez and I were talking about the Huppies.
Yeah. I had a bike, absolutely. I had more than one, but, you know, like not more than one at a time, but I had several, during the course of it, I had several bikes. I remember, you know, it was in Brooklyn, it was a big thing because people would try to steal your bike, you know? Yeah. And
would they just take it if you're riding down the street?
It would be more like you have to be careful who you let ride it and who you let, and where you left it. Because sometimes kids were like, can I get a ride? And you never see them again. When I was in East New York, Brownsville, Brooklyn, when I was a kid, like 5, I lived in Brownsville. Some kid stole my big wheel, but we got it back though.
You did?
Yeah, we went over there and we got it back. We regulated it. But well, my uncles did. My uncles regulated. One time in Brooklyn, this kid, I wasn't a tough guy by any stretch. You know what I mean? But
that's why we're telling jokes. Same here.
Exactly. But I drew a line.
This right here got us out of a lot of trouble to give the dad.
Exactly. You know? But I drew a line in terms of like, these are the guys I take shit from. These are the guys I don't take shit from. You know what I mean? I had a demarcation kind of line. Yeah. And one time, a guy that I did not take shit from tried to cross over into that space of guys I do take shit from, and I couldn't. I had enough guys. I couldn't let anyone else into that club. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was riding my bike, and I just rode right by him. Now I'm on a bike. I could just dust him and not worry about it.
Yeah.
But as I'm pedaling by him, he goes, when you come back, I'm going to take your bike. And I slammed on the brakes. I hopped off and just lumped him up. Just punched him in the face like 4 or 5 times. Got back on the bike. Because it wasn't like I'm such a tough guy. I was just like, dude, no, I can't.
You're not on the other side.
You're not on the list. Yeah.
Yeah. You're on I'll slam on my disc brake real quick.
Yeah.
We'll lock them up.
Yeah, I could have just been like, whatever. But I needed to send a clear message just to, you know.
Respect.
You're not going to take this bike.
Yeah, not this bike.
Yeah, I actually never got my bike taken. I've had tons of basketball stolen. But that's just more like you want to leave. No, it's like you want to leave. There's only one basketball. It's your basketball. You might let people stay and play with it.
Yeah.
And then you never get it back. So then I started like, I would initial my basketballs. That was my thing. I would always initial after a while. But I missed. Yeah, there you go. Right in the spine on the corner. I just put DP. Like after my first 2 or 3 basketballs got stolen, every basketball after that, I just put DP right there. And so unless some guy named like Dexter Pentworth steals it, I'm.
No, he can't steal it. Not a Dexter Pentworth.
Right. But yeah, so you know, but I loved Brooklyn. Was great, man. It was great growing up there. It was a really nice place. I think. Until crack, but I'm almost I almost missed crack. I'm of the age where crack came when I was in high school. So it like my early years, like, you know, I remember like the beginning of hip hop, block parties, you know, good vibes, you know, like, you know, somebody got shot every now and again, But then after crack, it was like someone
Yeah,
gets.
I watched I think it's on Netflix, The Evolution of Hip Hop or something.
Yeah.
Crack was introduced and all of that. And it took me back like to my first AC/DC concert. I was like 14. It was
nice.
general admission. So I'm like 4'11", about 13 years old, running to the front of the stage, and I'm just getting crushed by all these drunk people. I remember someone grabbing my pants leg like that. I looked down, and my buddy Mikey is like, "What's up?" I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you doing on the ground?" He goes, "Man, I just cut somebody. Had to cut some."
Whoa.
And then he just crawled away. Like, "I see you at school, man. I see you at school." I'm like, "All right, bro. See you at school, man." Then I saw him at school. He's like, "I had to cut somebody."
That's
crawl out of the concert.
That's crazy, dude.
But I can't imagine my son's 12. I'm like, dude, you're not going to any concerts. You're like,
isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Like you went to your first AC/DC concert. You're like 12. I was also in junior high school. My first concert, Run DMC.
Okay.
I went to my first one was at the Beacon Theater in Manhattan, and I saw it was like Run DMC, UTFO, Starsky Lovebug, Houdini. It was just
how many of us have them?
Yeah, my stepfather took me and my friend, my best friend at the time, Sean, and my stepfather. We went to that one, but then me and Sean, and he was 2 years older than me, so I'm like 12 or 13. He's like 15. We went to Crush Groove. We went to the Crush Groove concert. We went to see Run DMC in Madison Square Garden by ourselves.
Wow.
We saw with Slick Rick and them. And the crazy thing is that, like, we were so young, and like you said, like, I can't imagine. Like, I have a nephew who's 15, and I'm just like, I can't imagine just being like, go to a concert, like, go to a rap concert. But we did that, and I remember. But we went to Harlem. We went to the Apollo Theater to see Run DMC. The Beastie Boys opened up for them. Right?
I saw that concert.
Yeah, Beastie Boys opened up for them. It was amazing. And there was a comedian named Rick Aguilera, I think. Rick Aviles. Okay. He opened up the show. Now he was in the movie Ghost. He was a small part of Ghost. He passed away, but he was going to be like, he was really funny. And
really?
I didn't even think about doing comedy at this point. So it was a great show. But it's crazy because everything is perspective. So me and my buddy, and we're not gangsters. We're just like, we're good students, you know. But we're in Harlem. Like, this is
You're there to hear hard times.
Huh? Right.
You're there to hear hard times. Like,
yeah. So me and my buddy, we're sitting down, and we're from Brooklyn, but we're like, oh my God, we're in Harlem now. Like, this is Harlem, yo. We got to be careful, you know, because Harlem is really like low key. Brooklyn is Brooklyn, but Harlem's like the Mecca, right? Going back, Sugar Hill, that's where Langston Hughes, you know. Yeah. And so this lady who, when I say lady, at the time it was like this grown up, but she was probably like 26. You know what I mean? Yeah. Your brain is so you don't know what's happening. Yeah, She turns to us and she's like, "Where you guys from? Where you boys from?" And we was like, "Are we from Brooklyn?" She's like, and she went like this. She went, "Oh my God, Brooklyn." She said, "Where in Brooklyn?" We was like, Coney Island. She was like, "Oh." Like, you know, she was like,
"You know you're gangsters or something, or what?"
Yeah, she was like, "Watch out for these guys," and we were like, "Watch out for us." No, watch out for you guys. We're in Harlem right now. So you're just weird. And the crazy thing is like you couldn't go to Louisville, which I've driven. It's like what, 2 hours maybe?
Yeah, 2 hours. Where I'm from, it's 2 hours.
And so like from Lexington to Louisville, 2 hours maybe. And like in New York, it's even smaller. So we're talking about Harlem. And the lady from Harlem is talking about Brooklyn, like it's this mystic place. And if you drew a straight line, they're probably 8 miles away from each other.
Really? They're from the other side of the tracks.
Yeah, and it's like
dangerous over there.
Other world. 10 miles the most is the distance between these two places. Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts. I saw probably seen Run DMC maybe three times, but it meant a lot to me, like. Because growing up, like that was the jam. That's what got me. You know, Run DMC was everything to me. They were my like Beatles or whatever. So for my son to start digging Run DMC, I was like,
"That's really cool, man." Yeah.
And he's like, "Daddy, will we ever see them in concert?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I hope so."
Right.
But I love that on my Pandora, and when my kids are in the car, that's one of the stations I can put on, and it's not Taylor Swift. It's not, you know, Jojo Seawall. My daughter likes whatever. I put on Run DMC and they're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. They're like, all right. They're bobbing their heads in the back. I'm like, all right.
It's weird. It's like what Quincy Jones said in his documentary. It's a great documentary, and he said, "There's no like country music, R&B, jazz.
Yeah.
There's just good music and bad music.
There's good music and bad music. You know.
Yeah,
and you grow up and you're like a sponge from whatever your environment is.
Right.
Growing up, you know.
Exactly,
So
and all those Run DMC songs, they stand the test. Like you put them on. And like my nephew, the same thing. I'll play something for him. He'll be like, "Whoa, this is really good."
Yeah,
it holds
I
up.
love those videos of people they've never heard it before, or they've never heard something the first time. They're like, "Oh, damn!"
Right.
Because you know Rick Rubin, you know he would sample like Led Zeppelin or whatever.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
Like, and even when they did Walk This Way, they're like, "What the fuck?" You know, Seesaw Swinging with the Bow. They're like, "What is this nonsense?"
Yeah.
It's like, no, trust me on this. Trust me.
How genius was he to just have them redo the song?
Yeah.
Like it's such a next level genius move that like it seems like duh, but no, genius move the song, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I love glitch.
And the same thing with the name Run DMC. You know, that was Russell Simmons. He's the one that named. Like, no one in the history of rap was named just two names put together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like the Disco Boys, the Funky Four plus one more, or the Fat Boys. But just Run DMC. Boom. Yeah. Just like a subtle thing, you know?
There was the Rappin' Duke and Roxanne Shante.
Yeah,
all those old school. I remember the first time I heard even Sugar Hill Gang, which was the first sampled song. You know, they just looped Good Times. Shit.
Right, exactly.
You know, Yeah, that was. Now Roger's like, all right, respect. I like what they're doing here, with like Big Herc and Melly Mel, all those guys. I was at a party at the Palladium at the top of the show. I don't know if you saw it. I DJ'd at the Palladium a little bit back in the day.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That's what I was saying. Like, I remember just looking down, had a you know, little throwback vision of. I remember seeing like 1,000 people, a wave of people doing the electric slide.
Oh
everybody's happy, man. But I went up to Melly Mel once, and it was like Young MC or somebody was having a party up in the VIP room above my DJ booth. And I remember going up. So it was like I was looking around, going, "Damn, there's Young MC. You know, there's Melly Mel. There's Tone Loc. There's all these people." And I just got here, man. I was like 21. I just moved here, and I went up to Melly Mel, and I'm like, "Yo, man." I said, "Excuse me." I said, "None of these people would be here if you weren't there."
Yeah.
And he was like, "All right, respect, man." And he was like, you know.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. You know, I actually met Melly Mel recently.
Did you?
At the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival 2 years ago.
Wow.
I was in Montreal at the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. Russell Peters is really cool with him.
Really?
Yeah. So like Russell Peters walks into this comedy club. Did
Melly have on like the leather and spikes?
Yeah, he had on. It was like hot. So he had on like a shirt. But you know he's like a bench press dude now. Like he's
still jacked, man.
Yeah. So who is it? Josh from Baltimore. I forget Josh's last name. You know, he does a singing show.
Not Josh Wolf.
No. It'll come to me. But so he has a show with comics sing. And so Russell Peters walks in and he's with Melly Mel and who else is with him? I think I want to say Greg Nice. My brain is Greg Nice. My brain is like going off a little bit. And then Melly Mel did White Lines.
White Lines.
Yeah.
White Lines was the first real, not silly party rap. It was like it talked about real stuff, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was the first one. He was the first one to go there.
Right. And it's crazy. I think that song I think crack existed, but that song they were really just talking about regular coke. You know what I mean? So
I used to mix that with, speaking of Erotic City, perfect mix, 124 beats per minute per, just overlays on top of each other. And you remember, if you want to ride, Don't grab the right phone. Laid back. Yeah.
Right. That's cool.
It was awesome. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
Dwayne, man, I love catching up with you, man.
You too, man. It's fun going down memory lanes. I know we said 90s, but we took it to the 80s. But that's okay, though.
We go wherever we go, man. We just go with the flow.
Right.
And like I said, I remember Aisha Tyler used to call you DP back in the day.
Absolutely. She started it, and people still call me that. Absolutely.
DP. Back when I did Miyagi's. Yeah, we had good times.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, my man. Well, good seeing you always. Good catching up.
You too, Stevie.
Everybody. My man, Dwayne, where can they find you? Real quick, DP.
DwaynePerkins.com. Dwayne Perkins on the gram. And my special streaming everywhere. Take note.
All right. One of the funniest guys in the comedy biz. My man, Dwayne. We're also live on Facebook. But everybody, This is airing on YouTube, 6 p.m. Cali time. Thank you, Dwayne Perkins.
Thank you.
Joy and pain. 1, 2, 3.
Peace out.
Now. Thank you, DP. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week. Stevie D for president. We're going to start Slide Across America. I'm going to start the electric slide across America to bring everybody together. One nation under a grin. Thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you next week.
You're in the mix with JudiLew. You're in the mix with JudiLew. You're in the mix with JudiLew.
Good night, and thanks for everything.